Let's talk about the principle of attraction. And this is very important when you're looking at anything related to growth, because attracting the right people, whether that is a personal relationship or that is a team member or a business partner or staff or patients, the principle of attraction holds for all of these. And when you understand what is creating this, then you can do the work of improving it. So the principle goes as follows: attraction equals alignment times awareness. So attraction is obviously how connected two people feel. It doesn't have to mean that you engage with that person. There might be other circumstances that prohibit you, or it might not be the right time, or for whatever reason. But the core synergy and attractive force that occurs when you get strong alignment and they're aware of it. Because you can have very weak alignment and they could be aware of that, or you can have very strong alignment and they could be totally unaware of it, and you won't end up with any attraction. And not just from an individual perspective, for example, me and maybe you, me depending on my alignment and your awareness of it, we could have some level of attraction, maybe in the relationship as a teacher and maybe as someone who is learning, but also in groups. So me and the people I seek to serve. So my target audience is another way of saying the people I seek to serve. How aware are they in general, and how aligned are they with what I have to do in general? And then from that we can get if you multiply those two, you get the overall level of attraction. So what is alignment and awareness? Alignment is simply how aligned are we with their beliefs about what better is. So a better teacher, a better dental practice, a better whatever that is. People have beliefs about it. Now, some people will have a group of people, there will be very diverse beliefs. Some people will believe a dentist should be like this, and some people believe a dentist should be like something else. And so for whenever we show up a certain way, whenever we take a stand, and whenever we seek to become great at something, we will ultimately be pushing away a lot of those people who believe that that isn't how things should be, that you can't please everyone. But the people who are aligned to what you're going to stand for now, you're going to create stronger alignment with. And so what we've seen a lot of in the past was people focusing on awareness, which is simply, as a group, how many people know about me. And we've for a long time kind of forgotten about the work of creating alignment. And so we've had a lot of people be aware of and have mediocre or weak alignment, and we still end up with some level of results because we're a bit more convenient, we're a bit closer. Many reasons why, even with weak alignment, we're still getting some level of attraction in a group setting. So as the time has passed, as technology has evolved, as the internet's developed, as methods of communications have improved, awareness, for the most part, is becoming very obsolete as an advantage, because it's so prevalent that if you're doing the work of creating awareness, you're not really getting any results. Because the people who have done the work of creating alignment without having done the work of awareness, or they didn't have to, now they can see the benefits of awareness. Because let's say they don't do any advertising, they don't do any social media, they don't do any outbound reach or external marketing or whatever, they're still benefiting from increased awareness because of this new infrastructure that we have today and all the developments of technology. So what we're seeing is that the people who've been hyper-fixated on awareness and not doing the work of developing their alignment with the people they seek to serve, they're the ones who are struggling more, and they're the ones who are going to feel the impact as the trends go on and as awareness becomes a level playing field for everyone. Back in the day, location was everything. If you looked into real estate, it was always location, location, location. We don't have that issue anymore because the benefits of having a cornerstone location or a high traffic location was that you would get more visibility. But now, if you're more aligned, people will create that visibility for you. Google has made it so easy for information to be transmitted, for information to be searched for and received, that if someone finds that they have very strong alignment with you, they can easily share that with everyone else, and people can find it without you having to rely on something physical like a Cornerstone location. There are no limits to this system of awareness. The old limits are gone. So once we understand that principle, that attraction is from awareness and alignment, and in the context of marketing for new patients, this is going to look different for personal relationships or business partners, but the principles are going to hold. But I mean, like, the conditions are going to look different, the trends are going to look different. But once we understand this, we can see that it's imperative now that we start working on the process of creating more alignment. So if we're trying to grow, if we're trying to create a practice that is going to stand the tests of time, that is going to be sustainable and long-lasting, and in the future thrive, because if we try to align our strategies today to the current environment, by the time we have aligned our strategy to the current environment, it's going to be a new future environment. So we have to be projecting into the future and building for that, so that when it arrives, we have something substantial there. When we understand this principle and where the future is heading, we can see that it's imperative to create more alignment. So what's that process look like? And I think people get this tripped up a lot of ways, because they think that to create alignment, it is to just do what they consider better, to do dentistry in a way that they would enjoy, that they would like. And this happens everywhere. I've seen this from new startups to organizations that have 16 offices, and I've worked with their founders and business partners, and they're still struggling with this. This is a philosophy of marketing that hasn't been explored for a long time because of everyone's fixation on the old ways of doing awareness like SEO and such, and finding quick wins there. But now, since all the low-hanging fruit are gone, we have to go back to the meaningful and harder work of creating alignment. And it starts with understanding who you seek to serve, because we've done a very poor job of doing this. And if you do any higher level marketing courses or seminars or even books, what they start off with these days is the idea of the patient avatar, and they will have you get very specific with who you seek to serve. But I think that approach is wrong as well, because being too specific means that you create something for a single individual, and that doesn't really scale. So the approach I recommend is to figure out, what is the belief system that we seek to serve? What is a belief system that will scale? Because think about alignment. It is alignment to our beliefs. It's not about to an individual person. It's not alignment to their income or their ethnicity or how many kids they have. It's alignment to belief systems. So if we can identify belief systems that we seek to serve, for example, dentistry should be preventative. Dentistry should cost a decent amount. I should pay a premium for good dentistry rather than cheaping out on dental care. All these different beliefs that people can hold. Like, you can have some people who believe that they should cheap out on dental care because all dentists are the same. That's a belief. Or you can have a belief system that the skill level of dentists vary wildly, and we should be very thoughtful in who we choose. Those are two different belief systems, and we have to choose, what belief systems do we want to serve? And that's going to be the future of your business. That's going to be the future. That's going to dictate what belief systems you choose, is going to dictate the types of team you work with, the insurance you're going to accept, the fees and procedures, and all of this. So this is very important. Once you identify that, then you go into the work of creating alignment for those beliefs. Everything from the packaging and presentation of the entire practice to the actual experience itself. Unreasonable Hospitality is a great book on how to create that actual experience. And then the entire packaging, how that's presented, because no one's going to actually experience you if you look the same as everyone else, if you just look like a regular commodity. So how can we show up looking like we're better for people who have this belief system? All these different things that we need to do in order to create more attraction, get more patients, and so that you can experience growth. So if you want to get deeper into that, check out my course. I'll put it in the description. It's completely free. I think you'll like it a lot. All right. See you guys.